Good morning, guys. My name is Esther. This is This Lives, where we talk about all things nursing. I'm trying to find the light. All things nursing, nursing tips, and then I'm sharing my journey on being a brand new nurse. And then I keep saying we're gonna share a little bit of lifestyle, but girl, it'd be too much going on behind the scenes to even share that. So I'm doing this video because I recorded a video not too long ago where I was telling you guys to basically like change your unit if you're unhappy, apply for different jobs that you're interested in. I think I forgot to mention this, but you can shadow with some hospitals. I know with my hospital you can shadow for new units that you may possibly want to work in. And then I believe you can shadow an outpatient because my hospital is a little bit larger. So you can shadow in the outpatient area, surgical area, and things of that nature before you like commit to interviewing for that position. I'm walking because I don't feel like sitting down, but I think I'm gonna have to sit. But anyways, like I told some of you guys, when I make these videos, I don't make them for purposes of, I wish I could show you guys the background. I'm on vacation. So, but I have to record this video. But I don't make these videos for the purpose of like likes and comments and things of that nature. I do hope at some point that my channel becomes super engaging, where we can have conversations down below. But I don't do these videos for clickbait or anything like that. Like I literally try to share real life information, real scenarios. I try to share things that are helpful because I know like in real life, this is what happens behind the scenes of nursing. And I think that social media, especially Instagram, like tries to fluff up nursing. I think YouTube tries to fluff up nursing, and there's nothing wrong with that because there are good aspects to it. But then it's like when you go through something like crappy, like no one's talking about it, so you feel like, am I the only person experiencing this or whatever? But so I try to tell you guys about things that are happening to me, but then also things that are happening to my peers, and things like that, and just hoping that it's helpful to you. But anyways, we talked about changing your job a few weeks ago and how important it is if you're not happy to feel confident being able to change your decision and do different things and things of that nature. And so I was talking because I was thinking about that because I am currently in I guess in transition or whatever. So I applied to this cycle of new grads. So as you guys know, I'm a new nurse, but I haven't been a nurse for a year. And in my area, there's different hospitals that do it. But in my area, some hospitals allow you to go into a new grad residency program if you want to change specialties if you are less than a year, and other hospitals allow you to go to new grad residencies even if you're over a year. They just make it a little bit shorter, just so you can get like full training. So I applied to this cycle, and I'm not going to reveal what unit yet, but I applied to this cycle for the unit that I really wanted. So when I first applied last year, the unit that I wanted was full. And I was told, which I also made a video about this, how important it is to talk about when can you transfer, what's the transfer policies and things of that nature. And so that was one of my biggest things. I didn't get into the unit I wanted. So I was very big on like, how the hell do I transfer into the unit I want as soon as possible? So they told me I had to wait 6 months, right? And so girl, once we got to 6 months, I emailed my recruiter immediately and was like, okay, I'm in 6 months. So how do I get an interview over there? Sorry, my hair is dripping. I just came out of the shower. How do I get an interview? And she then told me, I guess because of when I was hired, like I fell into the category of like evaluations. And as you guys know, evaluations don't happen until the end of the year, pretty much like, what is it, November, December is when evaluations happen. So I think my 6 month mark was like, I want to say October or something like that. And then I had to wait till like November. So we're in November. I think it's like November 23rd or something like that today. So we had to wait till November. So that kind of frustrated me because I was like, you told me 6 months, and now that I'm at 6 months, you're telling me that I have to wait till evaluations come around, which is frustrating. So I had to wait. So I waited till evaluations came around, got my evaluation. In the process of getting my evaluation, there were other nurses on my unit who were interviewing, shadowing, and just checking out other specialties that were available. And so I found out that the unit that I wanted to go to was full. So I'm like, okay, so I waited the 6 months. You made me wait for this evaluation. And then I wait for this evaluation. I'm in the process of doing it because you have to wait till like what the manager assigns to you when they're working the same shift as you. Do this evaluation, and now that I'm in the process of like doing it, I have it scheduled. Now I find out like the unit I want to go to is full. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna work. And I'm very like one of those people who like, not that I take no for an answer, but when I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. If I don't want to be in a position, like I'm not gonna stay. If I'm not happy somewhere, I'm not gonna stay. Like I'm not one of those people who puts loyalty over everything. I put myself over everything. And I think you should too, because at the end of the day, it goes back to me saying you spend so much time at work. You spend so much time with your coworkers. You need to like where you work. So needless to say, I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna work. So I applied to other residency programs at other facilities. I did get an interview. My interview, I feel neutral about it, very neutral. But one thing that she said, which I wanna talk to you guys about, is that she basically said like I was a job hopper. And I know some of you guys are maybe in the same position as me, where maybe when you were in school, or maybe you went back to school and got a bachelor's and changed your mind and got a nursing degree, or some of you guys didn't have really good jobs, was working 2 jobs at one time and maybe dropped one job and picked up another job. Or maybe some of you guys were getting crappy pay and then went to another place and got better pay, and then found out another place had better pay. And so you're like, literally, I'm trying to make a decent living. I'm trying to like somewhat where I work. And so maybe your resume has like jobs on there and you just didn't stay too long, or maybe you only worked at places like, you know, once a year, or you worked at establishment for 1 year and then you left. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because no one can tell you the details and, you know, the intricacies of your life. And I think for me, one thing I was really, really big on was I knew from jump, I don't want to stay a bedside nurse forever. Like I knew that to my core, and that still is true to today. But I knew that I wanted to do nursing, but I knew I didn't want to stay bedside. So I was like, well, let me figure out what I want to do. So I've had like different roles in different settings. So I've worked in a clinic, I've worked in psych, I've worked in like acute care, like the hospital setting, I worked in home health. And granted, I didn't put that all on my resume, but it's just to tell you guys, like, I've had a lot of jobs because I genuinely wanted to find out, like, what do you like to do? What are you passionate about? Where in nursing do you fit in? And I don't think me having one job for 3 years was gonna show me that. And I knew I didn't want to do bedside. So it didn't make sense to stay in a bedside position or to stay in. So it didn't make sense to stay in those positions, because I was like, well, if you know you don't want to do you don't want to do bedside, you have to go find other jobs that are not bedside. And so when she made that comment about me being a job hopper, obviously this is like old school people who are doing this interview, because, you know, millennials, we feel very different about this. But I kind of knew I didn't get the job, because I was kind of like, well, if you think that I'm a job hopper and I'm like under a year, and you think that me leaving the current facility right now is maybe job hopping, then that's how you feel. And in my head, I was like, well, the real thing is I really want to work in this unit. And the real reason is because my ICU unit at my current hospital is full, and they're not hiring again until March. So the application cycle for my job doesn't open until March from the unit I want. And that means I wouldn't start till summer. And I'm like, it makes no sense to stay here just for a cycle when there's a bunch of cycles happening around me. So in my head, I was just like, it's okay. Like, I wasn't too sad about it. Like, wasn't too sad about it, because I was like, whatever. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, if that's how you feel, like, don't make nobody make you feel like you need to stay if you don't want to stay. Don't make nobody feel like you're a job hopper when you know like the intricacies, like I said, of your life. Like, you know why you left those jobs. You know why you didn't stay, girl. Whether it was the situation, whether it was that you moved to a different area that's too far, maybe you didn't have a car, maybe they were paying better. Like, you know the intricacies of your life. So don't take that to heart. But I got another interview, which is so I applied to 2 different hospitals because I wanted to work at a level 1. I figured if I didn't get to the hospital, my hospital, which is not a trauma center at all, I was like, it doesn't make sense to apply to other hospitals that are very much similar to my hospital, because at this point, I'd get the same experience. This is the place I really wanted to work at, but last year I missed the deadline because I was so caught up in just trying to pass nursing school and classes and things like that, which is pretty common, which I tell you guys, like, oh my God, just push through, girl, and apply. But yeah, so I missed the deadline last year, so finally the interviews are starting, and because last year was such like a situation, a lot of the interviews last year were virtual, so they're still doing like part virtual, part in person, and so my interviews today, I'm currently looking at interview questions, researching the hospital a little bit more, and so I will check back in with you guys so that you guys know how it went, and I will let you guys know how I feel about it. I mean, whether I get it or not, I don't think it really matters, honestly, but I just want to talk to you guys about it, because I felt like, do I really want to pop up and be like, new unit, or do I kind of want to like give you just a little bit behind the scenes? So I figured I would rather do that. So interviews today, just look at these interview questions, reviewing them, and I don't know, I don't feel any nervousness or anything. I just kind of feel like, dude, just give me the job. But yeah, so I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later, let you guys know how it goes. And then maybe, I'm not too sure, before I leave this trip, because I leave tomorrow and I'm flying all day tomorrow. And my phone doesn't really work that well in these other countries or whatever. So I don't know if my phone will be working, but if it is, then I'll update you guys as well as I'm traveling back home tomorrow. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit later.
All right, you guys, so I'm back. So first of all, your girl got the job. I got the job. I got the job. I got the job. You. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Cause let's talk about it. Can I talk to you? Phew. So I had a virtual interview. I told you guys about the virtual interview. Girl, virtual interview started mad late. So basically my interview was for 3:30 and it started, I didn't think I started till like 14 or 15. But honestly, the questions weren't too bad. They asked me like behavioral questions. I realized like nursing interviews don't really ask you like critical care questions. I think when you go from like critical care to, I don't know, I think like when you change within your specialty and it becomes a little bit more critical, like if I went from, like if you were going from ICU to cardiac ICU, or you were going from med-surg to step down, I think then they might ask you more critical questions. But I think because you're a newer nurse, they don't really ask like scenario-based questions. But nonetheless, so the questions, I didn't really study. I really just went over interview questions because I haven't interviewed in a minute. So I just went over like regular interview questions. I'm gonna put down the link some videos I watched for interview questions. Yeah. I'll show you guys one video because I think one guy did a really, really good job. And it was like 30 minutes long, but it was pretty much any question you could probably think of. But anyways, I did my interview. It was like 4 people in line. The unit I wanted to interview with, the other med-surg unit, and then I think it was like an educator, and then I interviewed with the emergency department as well. and it wasn't too bad. But then they put me out in the lobby because I guess when you interview online, there's like a virtual lobby, which is basically just waiting for the host to let you in. And so it started late. I'm not really sure why, but got my interview done, went back to the lobby, and then I got picked up from the lobby, and the person who's like a head of recruiting for nurse residency was like, hey, we're going to put you with an HR representative. And I was like, wait. But then the thing is, you guys, for this interview, I had to pick 2 specialties. So I picked 2 specialties. And so I ended up interviewing with 3 because it was a panel, but I got to pick 2 of my top 2. And then, so when I went to HR, I wasn't really excited because I was like, oh my God, I don't know. Obviously, I got the job, but the question is, who picked you? Because they have to pick you, and then you have to agree to them picking you. So he told me that I got the position I wanted. I am officially an ICU nurse. Phew. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. I'm officially an ICU nurse. I mean, I haven't started, but they said yes to me. I got the hospital I wanted, and my pay, you guys. I'm not gonna tell you my pay. We're gonna talk about pay in another video. Anyways, you guys, I just want to share my journey with you. Again, like I said in the last video, if you are thinking about changing your specialty, changing your unit, leaving the hospital, do it. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. Don't let nobody feel like you are not competent enough to do it. Don't let anybody make you feel like you have to be super loyal and things of that nature. Do what's best for you. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good. And do it now. Like, don't sit here and waste time being somewhere that you know is not for you, doesn't fit you, is not in your best interest, doesn't make you happy, doesn't have you smiling. You know what I'm saying? So don't stay, like, change. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I just want to share my interview process with you guys. As you guys can see, I applied to 2 places, interviewed at 2 places, and got hired at 1. And the one that I got hired was where I wanted to be. So it worked out for me. But definitely, if you are a new grad, definitely go where you want to go, explore different options, and see where you fit in the best. And just apply. I don't even know what else to say other than like, girl, I gotta go because I done gave up my beach day and there's a sunset waiting for me and I gotta go catch sis. And I'm going to a samba class tonight. So going to samba, going to go catch the sunset. It's about to be 5 o'clock, so sunset about to be here in like 40 minutes, so I gotta go. But guys, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notification on so you can catch the next video. I will see you guys next time. And yeah, girl, we out. Bye.